What are some stocks I bought here today? Why did I do it? Okay. Well, first off, I did not get here by worrying about the next 3 to 7 weeks, the next 3 to 7 months in the market, right? Whatever is going to happen in the market short term is whatever is going to happen. This NASDAQ goes down 10%, or maybe it goes down 15%, 35%, 50%, whatever, okay? At the end of the day, that's going to be what that's going to be. I cannot control whether the stock market goes up or down in the short term, as you cannot control if the stock market goes up or down in the short term, right? I concern myself over the next 3 to 7 years. And by doing that, I'm able to live this lifestyle I live, right? If it wasn't for that focus over the coming years, I would not be able to afford the homes I live in. I would not be able to afford the cars I drive. I would not be able to afford the vacations I go to, like going to a restaurant. I don't have to worry about the price, any of that stuff. There's no way I'd be able to do this if it was like I was focused on the next 3 to 7 weeks, the next 3 to 7 months. No, I'm focused on years, ladies and gentlemen. Years, right? That's how you climb the ranks from a kid that was cleaning dishes in the back of Einstein Bagels for $7.50 an hour into I look for beaten down dog stocks with bright futures. I love to look these are sorts of opportunities that you can double, triple, quadruple, 10x, or more your money in these stocks over time, right? I look for the beaten down dog stocks with bright futures. Good example of this is Elf in 2019. For those of you that have been following me for years and years, you know about that one. Tesla obviously was one of my most famous successful investments. Meta in 2022, Palantir in 2022, right? SoFi in 2024. What a buy that was. AMD this year in 2025, right? These are some of my most famous buys since I've been on YouTube. And those companies, when I was buying them, they were not in favor. Elf, when I was buying that back in 2019, it was $7 stock. Tesla, since I bought that stock back in 2019, I think that stock's gone up like 2,000 or 3,000%. No one wanted Tesla. Tesla was dead money for like a 5-year period. Meta 2022, the stock was down 70%. No one wanted that. Palantir 2022, the stock was down like 80%. People thought Palantir was a joke. Like, oh, what a joke of a company that is, right? SoFi 2024, that was a $6 stock back last year, right? And I was loading up shares, and man, what a game-changing stock that's been. And then AMD this year, like AMD, woo-wee. No, I mean, AMD was an ultra-hated stock just 6 months ago, right? Like people were still selling that stock at $80 6 months ago. Now those same people are willing to pay $250 for it. Like what a change that's been. Right? Imagine what they're going to be willing to pay for AMD a year from now, 2 years from now. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? Right? So that's what I like to focus on. Beating down dog stocks with bright futures. That's where I get some of my best returns ever. Right? Now, Steve Wynn, so I have a picture of Wynn Resorts on my main phone and my backup phone and my backup phone, right? And the reason being is I always respect Wynn Company so much, and I love Steve Wynn. Steve Wynn, who obviously doesn't have anything to do with the company anymore, but what a legendary businessman. He always had so many great things he could teach you about business. And one of his famous quotes I remember him saying is he said, "In the valley of the blind, the one-eyed man is king," right? Let that sink in. In the valley of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And it makes me think about the stock market, because the stock market so often, everybody's so blind, right? They follow each other around, especially a lot of these Wall Streeters. They all buy the same stocks at the same time. They all sell the same stocks at the same time. They're really just blind out there. Like, they can't see a dang thing. And so all you got to do is come in and like have one eye open, and you can see so many opportunities out there that these Wall Streeters are completely missing. And if they weren't missing these, they wouldn't have been selling Meta for $88 in 2022. They wouldn't have been selling Palantir at $5.98 and $6 and $7 in 2022, right? They wouldn't have been selling AMD this year at $80. Like these things wouldn't have occurred if they actually just had their eyes open and they could like see what's actually going on out there. But they're blind. They're completely blind. So here I come along. I'm like a one-eyed man out here, like, and like I look like a genius. I look like the greatest thing because it's like these guys are blind out here, like completely blind, right? So just understand that. That's a great quote from Steve Wynn, and it's the truth. Okay. Alrighty. So what are some stocks I bought? Well, okay. So first up, Fubo. I bought 1,444 shares of Fubo here today. That was around a $5,000 move. I got those shares at $3.42. Fubo, I mean, my gosh, they benefited massively from this YouTube, TV, Disney situation here recently. That was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And from the Google Trends data, Fubo went to the moon in regards to Google Trends data. They must have got so many signups over the past couple of weeks, as well as Hulu Plus Live TV, which now they own. I mean, gosh, both those Google Trends went crazy. None of it's reflected in the stock. I don't even think the acquisition of Hulu Plus Live TV's, reflect in the stock. I don't think their future margins start next year and profitability are reflected in the stock. So, I don't think anybody's ready for what Fubo is about to do over the next few years here. And so, pretty darn exciting, and what a missed opportunity for a lot of individuals out there, right? Adobe. I bought Adobe stock here today, about a $3,300 move. I got 10 shares at $329. Adobe's just kind of an easy money stock. It's hated. It's a dog stock. No one likes it. They just put up great numbers quarter in, quarter out. As long as Adobe keeps putting up great numbers quarter in, quarter out, this stock will climb right back to $500, $600. They just got to continue to put up numbers, because eventually the whole bearish narrative around the stock will go away. It'll just go away. That's what happened with Google. Google just kept putting up the numbers, and then eventually people said, you know what, we got to give up on this whole negative angle on Google. And that just happened. And so that will happen with Adobe as long as they keep coming in through and putting up great numbers. This one might shock a lot of people, this next move. I bought 100 shares of SoFi here today, right? That might be shocking to a lot of individuals, because SoFi has gone up so much from when I was buying that stock at $6 to now being at $27. But when it comes to SoFi, ladies and gentlemen, my view on SoFi is I believe that company has the ability to become a financial giant, right? So when we're talking about financial giants, we're talking about companies with hundreds of billions of dollars in market cap. That's where I think SoFi has the ability to go long term. And so for me, looking at SoFi, I'm like, yeah, the stock's gone up a lot since I bought it, but if they really become a financial giant, this will all be actually small money in the end, right? And we could look at Palantir. Palantir was a $6 stock, and then it was $27, right? And you could have said, Palantir's gone up so much. It was $6, now it's $27. Can't buy that stock anymore. It's gone up so much, right? I mean, now people pay $170 for it. Just a couple of weeks ago, people were paying over $200 for it. So at the end of the day, if SoFi just keeps coming in with great numbers and they become that financial giant, $27 long term could look like a great price, right? Obviously, it won't be like a joke price like when I got it for $6, but still. Next stock up here, Celsius Holdings, energy drink company. I bought 100 shares. It was a little over $4,000 move. Bought those shares at $40.73 here today. The earnings were phenomenal. I love the whole direction that company's going in. They're on their way to becoming a drink giant. There's no question in my mind. And so I don't know what else to say other than the stock's a buy. The stock's on its way to $100 a share. Next one, almost a $7,000 buy here, is American Express. I bought 20 shares here today, $348 I paid for this one. Just a great company that you can just count on, coming through. You think you got to understand about American Express. There's a lot of things you got to understand about American Express, but American Express is really built around a membership model. So the way I would think about American Express, think about them much more like a Costco, where Costco has their membership model, right? People pay their membership, and that's where they get a lot of their profit from. Think about that kind of like American Express, people pay that membership and they can get a lot of profit from that. And then people go to Costco and they can make money by, obviously, they make margin on pretty much everything they sell. So, and then American Express can make money off of all the fees, right? It could be credit card interest fees, or it could be merchant fees and things like that. So it's a beautiful model. It's absolutely genius what American Express has going on there. And they have a very loyal customer base, kind of like a Costco, right? And, American Express, just a great stock. And I spoke about American Express in a couple of videos recently here on the main channel. One is this members only video. This is for the people that are the members that support the channel here. Brand new stock I'm going to buy. That was a 20-minute video that spoke in depth about American Express there. And then this video, that was a public video where everybody could watch it. I just bought a new stock. That one also spoke in depth about American Express. I do make some points in this video, this members only video there, that I don't make in this video. So do keep that in mind. But man, what a great opportunity American Express is. Next stock up here, 10 shares I bought. CRM, Salesforce, $238 I paid for those shares. Benioff, we trust that gentleman. Easy money buy. I bought 10 shares of Amazon here today. I continue to buy Amazon. I've been buying Amazon since 2022. And I just continue to load up on shares. That's just one you can hold for the next 10, 20 years and just feel very, very comfortable and make a ton of money. You know how much money you're going to spend on Amazon over the next 10, 20 years? Can you imagine that? Like, why would you not want to own that stock, right? It's at an attractive valuation, and like they just have so much revenue growth from the ads business, AWS, and from the e-commerce business. Like, you got to own it. This is actually a pretty big buy. This was a very big buy for me. I bought 3,000 shares of Honest, HNST, here today. About a $7,400 move. I got those shares at $2.46. Like, Honest, I would say for stocks under $1 billion market cap, the most disrespected best deal in the market under $1 billion. I cannot find a better stock to buy with under $1 billion market cap in terms of risk reward. Like, how much risk am I actually taking that stock? How much reward potential does it have over the next 3 to 7 years? Like, I can't find anything better than Honest. Like, Honest is the king. Like, look at that income statement, balance sheet. They're right sizing the business. Like, oh my gosh, like, it's just brilliant. And so, people going to miss a big opportunity there, in my opinion, but we'll see, right? Estee Lauder, like, what an opportunity this stock has been. It's now a big money maker for us. It's still a buy. That's the thing. I've already started to make a lot of money on EL, and it's still a buy. I bought, this is a big boy move here today, $8,700 plus of Estee Lauder. I bought 100 shares, $87.56. I paid for those shares. That stock remains a buy, ladies and gentlemen. Nike, $6,300 move here, $63.35. I saw something interesting in regards to Nike I thought was worth mentioning. Steph Curry and Under Armour have broken up. What a waste of a relationship, in my opinion, that was. Like, I think Steph Curry banked on he was going to sign with Under Armour. He was going to boost the whole brand. Like, the stock price was going to go crazy. He was probably going to make a bunch of money off the stock, and man, it just didn't work out. And so now he broke up with Under Armour, right? And this went viral on the internet is basically he was seen pregame wearing a pair of Nikes. How about that, man? How about that? Nike Kobe 6s. And some people wouldn't even know he was an Under Armour athlete because you know why? He's got Nike symbols all over him all these years, right? And, it just shows you, like, Nike has got it down, man. Look at Jordan Brand. Like, you wouldn't even know he was wearing Under Armours because he's got Nike all over him, right? So Nike's just, man, they got it down. They got every angle you could ever imagine. Next one up here, PayPal. Bought 100 shares of PayPal here today, $6,200 move. Got those shares at $62.30. Such a hated stock, such a beaten down dog stock, right? Big news happened here today in regards to PayPal. You know what it was? They just announced they're going to sell off a massive amount of their buy now, pay later business in terms of the actual loans to a company specifically for the European side of the business. And this is a similar announcement that they had back in 2023. And the reason it's so big is this keeps PayPal an asset-light business model. PayPal does not want to be a bank, right? They want to be a fintech. They want to be asset-light. They want to be higher margin, higher growth, higher revenue, right? They don't really want to take a big risk on all these buy now, pay later loans. So they go ahead and sell off that business to somebody else, and they can deal with that, right? Next one I bought here is Cheesecake Factory, 100 shares here today, $44.55. I paid for those ones. A little under a $4,500 move in regards to cake. If you want to hear me talk more about cake, I believe that was one of the stocks I featured on this video that I released 2 weeks ago. 4 stocks to buy now, November 2025 edition. So you can hear me talk more in depth about cake, okay? Also, one piece of housekeeping here. We have a massive sale coming up, 4000xstocks.com, Black Friday. Very proud to announce that deal. We're going to have it on a 1-month membership and a 3-year membership is what the deal will be for that. So pinned comment down there. Click on that, put in your name, put in your email, and you might want to put in your phone number. Every year we do the Black Friday sale on something. Sometimes we'll do it on Patreon. Sometimes we'll do it on 1000X, right? Every time we do that deal, once a year, people will enter in their email wrong, or they'll enter in their email and then they'll have missed a sale because they get a million other promotional emails on Black Friday. Like, this is the deal you actually want, okay? So you might want to put in your number as well so we can text over the deal when that does drop on Black Friday. Additionally, when you receive the deal, we will send you your Steel membership card in the mail to your house, apartment, condo, wherever you reside at, okay? So that's going to be very, very exciting. That is, if you're not part of my private stock group, you have to have 1000X. It is absolutely key, okay? One thing, if you don't want to be part of my private group, like that's too much for you or something like that, 1000X, you gotta have this. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's react to some videos here.
AMD stock up phenomenally. You can see since she took over, 7,589, 589%. Lisa, I think when you took over, This was a $2 billion market cap. I think today it's above $386 billion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who's counting?
Well, it's great to be here with you guys this morning. Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you, too. Last week, you had earnings that came out that beat all expectations, and yet the stock actually declined. I think people were waiting to see what you said at the Investor Day. They liked what they heard, especially when it came to the revenue, the annualized growth that you're expecting, 35%. I think most people were looking for closer to 30%. Predictions are hard, though, especially about the future. And I guess the big question is, what makes you so confident?
Well, first of all, it was a great day yesterday. It's always nice to sometimes take a step back from just, what's happening on a quarterly basis to really talk about long-term strategy. And it has been, as you said, it's been 3 years since we've hosted an Analyst Day. But what we thought is, there's been so much that's changed in the market just over the last, 12, 18, 24 months that we kind of needed to kind of just take a step back and talk about the company as a whole. And frankly, we're in just an amazing cycle for technology and specifically around AI. So back to the major points. The market is accelerating at a pace that we just did not understand until over the last few years. I think we started a couple of years ago. We thought the AI accelerator TAM might be $300 billion, and that sounded like a really big number. And then each year we took it up. And now when we take a step back, we see this massive opportunity, really over $1 trillion, overall market as we get through 2030. And it's a place where everybody needs technology. Think about it as you can think about computing as equating to intelligence. And if you can get more intelligence, why wouldn't you want more computing? And that's kind of the market that we're in. And so from that standpoint, we're really excited about what we have. It's a product portfolio, it's a set of partnerships, but it's also a vision for where computing is going in the future.
What makes you so sure of that demand? What do you see that makes you think not only that this demand is going to be big, but that it's real and that it's not going to disappear?
Well, Becky, we spend a lot of time in the ecosystem, and being in this industry for as long as I've been in this industry, over 30 years, I think you see a lot of cycles and you see a lot of technologies take off. The key is what people are saying as they're actually utilizing the technology. So we work with all of the largest hyperscalers in the world, all of the largest enterprises. And if you looked at sort of the AI trajectory over the last couple of years, I think people started with tremendous excitement. ChatGPT came on board. Everyone was like, wow, this is pretty good. And then enterprises started using it. And frankly, the early enterprise usage was a little bit slow. People were kind of just trying to figure out what to do. But if I tell you what we've seen in the last 12 months, we've seen every one of our largest customers say, we can see the inflection point now, Lisa. We can see demand is accelerating because people are now starting to get real productivity out of the AI use cases. And, we have all of the largest hyperscalers in the world saying they're investing more in CapEx because they can see the return on the other side of it. So it is something that we always are looking for the signals in the market. But the signals in the market right now say that we're still at the very beginning of the technology, but you're starting to see significant productivity improvements.
Do you really think that?
So before we go further here, something very important you got to understand about Lisa Su. She is not a pumper, okay? There's plenty of individuals in the market, including even stocks I've owned in the past, where the CEOs are what I would call pumpers, okay? Where they'll throw out this prediction, that prediction, all this stuff, right? To arguably help the stock short term. And, those things don't come to fruition. All right. Lisa Su's not one of those individuals. If she says something, we're going to likely do this or do that, they're likely coming through and they're going to do that in the end. She's not just throwing darts at a dartboard, just trying to help the stock get up short term. She's never been like that, and she's still not like that to this day. And she led this company from, as they spoke about, a $2 billion market cap or whatever. This company, a lot of people thought AMD was going bankrupt 10 years ago. And now you look at this company, it's one of the strongest companies in the world. And can you imagine the cash flows this company is going to be producing 2 years out, 3 years out from now? Unbelievable. Can you imagine where the balance sheet's going to be 2 or 3 years from now? And I think this is, I think if we look at this company 2 years from now, just 24 months from now, I think we'll look at this as one of the strongest companies in the world. And that's amazing because, once again, 10 years ago, people thought this company might go bankrupt. So Like that is pretty darn impressive. So just understand you got to put some respect on Lisa Su's name.
And see the returns on the other side? Or do you think there's a little bit of a big gamble going on, which is to say that there's a bunch of them will tell you
gamble.
Quite openly, look, I'd much prefer to be ahead than behind, meaning ahead than behind. I'm worried that if I don't invest enough now, I won't have enough capacity later, but I can't necessarily fully math out how it's going to work out on the other end either.
I don't think it's a big gamble. I think it's the right gamble. And the way I would say it, Aaron, is we can also definitely see that more computing and more investments equate to a faster pace of innovation. I think that's definitely there. I think you can also see all of the pointers to more productivity and more capability. Now, exactly timing of ROI, right. If you're talking about is it 12 months or 24 months, I think that's where it becomes a little fuzzier.
Yeah.
But
fair.
I would say that, look, our largest customers are extremely disciplined companies, and they have the balance sheets to invest. And this idea.
I'll give you an example. The one that everybody talks about is OpenAI.
Yeah.
So OpenAI in 2028 is expecting to lose $74 billion. By the way, they have $13 billion in revenue right now. I believe that's the number. They believe.
I don't believe that's the number. I believe recently they talked about 20 billion plus they're doing in revenue now at this point in time, and that's scaling rapidly. So, it could be AMD's, all of a sudden 2 years out, 50 billion plus in revenue. So keep that in mind. And then $74 billion in losses. I don't know where that number's coming from. What he could be referring to is $74 billion in spend. That's a big difference between $74 billion we're spending this much on infrastructure versus we're going to lose $74 billion. So keep that in mind.
That between 2028 and 2030, that they will all of a sudden become a profitable business. So they have to make a swing from a $74 billion loss.
That number he's throwing out there, that's just like baloney. Like they should never lose $74 billion. They might spend $74 billion a year, but there's a big difference between spending $74 billion, because you raised a bunch of money, and losing $74 billion. So keep that in mind. The losses for for OpenAI will probably be in the billions of dollars at peak here in the next year or two. And then would I be shocked if ChatGPT, would I be shocked if OpenAI was profitable 3 or 4 years from now? I wouldn't be shocked at all. I've seen so many of these tech companies, they went from losing fortunes of money to suddenly making profits, and we've never seen something scale out as rapidly as OpenAI is. I mean, it's pretty unbelievable, right?
Something magical has to happen in the course of 24 months. So the question I would ask you as somebody who, by the way, has to think of them to some degree as a customer / creditor of sorts, how you think about that math.
Yeah. So again, Aaron, I would take a step back and say, when you look at the entirety of what the AI, sort of technology companies are, you have the largest hyperscalers. You have, I call it the AI native leaders like OpenAI, Anthropic, others. And what the underlying foundation is the same. They all need computing. Now, relative to your comment about OpenAI, I think OpenAI is a phenomenal company. I mean,
I do too. I use it every second. I love the business. I love what they're trying to do. I'm trying to understand the math.
Let's start with the vision, and then we'll come to the math. When you look at the math,
understand in all due respect, okay? And Lisa Su caught some hate for this because she didn't do the math for OpenAI. Listen, is Lisa Su the CEO of OpenAI? I don't think so. So why are they asking her to do the math of a company that she's not even the CEO of? Like she's going to go through it like, well, they're going to reach $40 billion this year, and they're going to reach $80 billion of revenue this year, and then they're going to get a margin on that, blah, blah, blah. Like, she's not the CEO of that company, the same way I wouldn't expect Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, to be able to run us through the math of how AMD grows to blah, blah, blah number the next 3 years. Like, that's just, that's kind of silly. Like, ask somebody from OpenAI to run the math. Like, that's who you ask that, not a CEO of another company.
You need more computing. That today, computing is a limiting factor in how much people can adopt AI. And you can see that in a number of different places. And so, yes, you have to invest ahead of the curve so that you can get the entire user base on there. But if you just take a look at the growth in users, and not just at OpenAI, but across the entire AI ecosystem, we're seeing that growth. And we're seeing that growth because there is true productivity coming at the other end of it. And from that standpoint, I think we are all, like I said, we're disciplined business people, but we see an incredible opportunity in front of us. And absolutely, if one has the capability to address that with a fantastic balance sheet, you would absolutely do that.
Let's talk about your plans for AI data centers. You are scaling pretty rapidly. You see the growth there in terms of revenue being greater than 80% over the next several years, and potentially getting to have more than a 10% market share in that business over the next few years. To do that, you're going to have to go through NVIDIA because by some estimates, they have more than 90% of the market share right now. What's your plan for doing that?
Well, I would say, once again, this is an amazing market with tremendous growth. And whenever you have a market that is, let's call it early in the cycle and also on a steep growth curve, it really favors innovation and it favors partnership. From our standpoint, technology roadmap, we're super excited about the new products that we're bringing out. We have our MI350 series currently in production. We have a big step up with new rack scale architectures coming next year. What we also have is a really strong set of partnerships. Aaron mentioned OpenAI. We have partnerships with Oracle, Meta, all of the large hyperscalers. And the key in this type of market, Becky, is that everybody wants to have sort of multiple solutions, and frankly, there's no one solution that fits all. You can see with different workloads, you're going to want to have the best technology for each one, and we do believe we will have a significant piece of this market. I think between large hyperscalers, enterprises, as well as sovereign nation states that are out there building large data center installations. I think we are an excellent option, and we've talked about some of the key partnerships to do that.
Yeah, so in regards to all these big tech companies, like why are they spending so much money? Like I'll boil it down as simple as I possibly can. Like I'm explaining it to a 5-year-old, okay? There's 2 core reasons these big tech companies are spending just fortunes of money. 1, survival. There is a view that if you do not have AI relevant products for your company, that you will become irrelevant over the next several decades, okay? That's important. So you need to make sure you're on this next technological wave, or you could get left behind over the next couple decades and your company slowly becomes irrelevant, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, revenue growth. If you are very successful here, your revenue growth should be much higher, right? And your TAM should increase pretty dramatically for your business overall. You can already see this in a company like Meta. Meta's already showing you accelerating revenue growth. Like the latest quarter, 26%. Wow, that's pretty darn impressive. Imagine they keep pushing that up. Could Meta get 30% revenue growth? That's a number a lot of people didn't think was possible for a company of that size. What if they do it? And this is in what would be considered kind of a weaker environment in the economy as well. Like, what if the economy goes stronger? Like, what if stimulus checks came out there? Like, there's a lot of different factors to think about in regards to what if things strengthen, plus they had accelerating growth. Like, oh my gosh. And so, like, AWS is another good example. AWS revenue growth just went from 17% to 20%. So we're starting to see the early signs, the early indications that these companies are going to be able to grow revenue faster because they're spending. And spending is ultimately going to help revenue grow at a faster clip. So that's why they're spending so much money on this, and we'll see how it all plays out.